Welcome back to County Connection. For our final segment of the July episode, we have the fine folks from Summit Housing Authority here with us to talk about how to take advantage of deed-restricted housing here in Summit County, if you are for the members of our workforce out there. So we have Jennifer Commode, Director of Summit Combined Housing Authority, and Joy Klein, Programs Director. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Sure. Why don't you give, for anybody who may not be familiar with Summit Combined Housing Authority, give us a little background on what this organization is all about.
The Housing Authority is a compilation of all of the towns in Summit County and the county government. And so we administer all of the housing programs that the towns and the county have put into place.
Okay.
They do the development, and then we do all of the administration of all of that. So we get to work with all the fine people in Summit County that work here and want to live here full time and have a home and maybe raise a family and start a lifestyle here.
Right, because for folks who may be first-time home buyers or even renters, to take a little look around at the prices, the real estate market can be kind of intimidating
Very
in paradise.
So. Yeah, suddenly paradise has a little sour taste if they want to get into housing. So we're here to help them with that.
All right, fantastic. So one of those programs is deed restricting, or mechanisms I should say, is deed restricted housing. So what exactly is deed restricted housing?
Well, deed restricted housing runs the gamut in Summit County. Truly, we have hundreds of different deed restrictions within the county, and they can run from, it just has to be your primary residence, all the way up to the more ones that are occurring today are more restrictive. So you have to own or occupy, work in the county a minimum of 30 hours a week year round, and then usually a cap on the resale maxes out at 3% is the main gist of it.
All right. And then, so the idea behind these is that these are programs or projects or developments that any of those governmental entities have provided at rates or prices that are lower than what you typically see on the free market.
Definitely. What we do is we take what the area median income is, and that's provided by the Department of Housing and Urban Development for Summit County, and then we price our homes to be affordable to those wages, which are local for Summit County. We're not quite sure how relevant they are to where we live and how Summit County works. But we price our homes so that you're not spending more than 30% of your gross income on your housing expense to make them affordable. So, and we have had great success with that. Very few foreclosures over the downturn in the economy because people were in homes that they could afford. So it's worked very, very well.
Great. And then these deed restrictions are in place to keep those homes affordable to the workforce in the long term if they change hands and somebody moves out and a new worker moves in.
Correct.
All right.
Definitely. And a good example of that is Ophir Mountain across the street from the Senior Center.
Okay.
I just listed one this week and it's $124,690. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a 1-car attached garage with a washer dryer. So over time, they were built in '97.
Okay.
So over time, they've truly stayed affordable. So that's a good example.
And there's, I mean, nowhere else in Summit County are you going to find that on the free market, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath for, what did you say it was?
About $125.
$125, right. So,
amazing.
Yeah. So having these kinds of programs is amazing for folks in our workforce who are really, the backbone of our economy, as well as, making a life in a beautiful place. So
for sure.
Yes. So that's great. So if you haven't ever owned a home before and you're only familiar with renting, what might be the first steps that you would take towards home ownership?
The first step you should take is assess the timing. If you're still relatively young in your working career and in building up financial assets to purchase a home, you should get involved with our financial fitness classes, and those are always found on our website, which is summithousing.us, and it's a new website, so it's pretty up to date.
All right.
It looks modern now.
Good.
So you can find that information out, and that gives you some time to get yourselves ready to purchase a home. And then when you get closer to and you think this is the year I'm going to do it, they can come in and take our first-time homebuyer class that Joy runs, which is extremely informative, and we bring in local experts for the whole real estate purchase transaction. And then the next step is to get yourself pre-approved with a lender for your first mortgage, and then come to the Housing Authority and get approved for one of our deed restrictions. And because if you don't do that, you cannot make an offer on a deed restricted house when it comes for sale. And when it comes for sale, what's our average day on the market?
Lately, hardly any.
Right.
I mean, it's
They're going like hotcakes.
They really are.
Yeah. Yeah. So we want them to get themselves in a position to get ready during the selling season, which is right now. And they should expect about a 2-week time period before we can get our work done once they've come to us for that application. So we want them to start early.
Okay. And then what should people expect, and what kind of, I know there are probably a lot of things to get together, but just kind of in broad strokes, what can they expect that process to look like with the lender and then also with the Housing Authority?
So our home buying class teaches a lot of this, the steps that you need to go through, virtually A to Z, how to buy a home. We have a lender, a realtor, a title company person, and a home inspector come in and say, these are the things that you should look out for, these are the questions that you should ask, this is what you should be ready for, type of thing. And then most of them from there go to a lender, if that was their first experience with the home buying process, to get pre-qualified so that they know what they can afford. If you're looking at $300,000 houses and all you can afford is $200,000, you're going to be disappointed. So that should be the next step. And then our forms are available on our website. It's just our housing application. And what we would need from them to get them approved for any deed restricted property in Summit County, it would be tax returns, pay stubs, W-2s, the application, and then a pre-approval letter from a lender.
All right. And like you said, these places do go pretty quick, so it's good to get your ducks in a row so that your dream home doesn't slip through your fingers when they do become available.
Yes. And one of the things that we do want to talk about is what you can and cannot offer a seller of a deed restricted property. Because housing is so tight in Summit County right now, we are seeing people, when you buy a deed restricted home, there's a maximum sales price, period, that somebody can pay for that home.
Okay.
And you cannot offer any financial incentive to the seller above and beyond that sales price.
Okay.
Nor can you do that outside of closing. So we're getting pretty adamant. We've seen all kinds of things being offered. Joy's been offered babies and all kinds of things.
Person's blood, coffee. I was like, thank you, but no thank you.
Right. Very cute baby, but that's not how we operate.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, that is all good to know. Are there any other bits of advice you would give to folks out there who are thinking about getting into the market the first time?
I would recommend that they get on our website and then get on our interested list. There's a place on our website where they can fill in their information about what type of property they're looking for, about what price range they think they might be in, where in the county they want to live, number of bedrooms, if they have pets, so that when something does come up for sale through the Housing Authority, we send out an email blast. We have 700 and some odd people on that interested list right now. But it's a way for them to instantly know what we've got going. So it's a big help. Right.
So you can take action if as soon as something comes up.
Right.
And one thing I want to mention too is that we do have down payment assistance available, and that too is on our website. It's a couple different programs that we have. One is funded by tax dollars by the towns and county of Summit County, and the other one is by the Division of Housing, and really great programs. So
very helpful.
You can help you get into that home if you don't have a large amount of money to get in.
Right. Yeah. And rents are so high right now, it can seem a little intimidating to be socking away money for a big down payment. So that could be a great help.
Yeah. And with the rents going up, frequently our deed restricted properties with today's interest rates on mortgages are at or below what your rent would be. And you have the tax advantage of that as well, of the home ownership. So.
Right. Yeah. So if the time is right for you, it's also in your life, it's a great opportunity right now.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Yeah.
All right.
We love what we do. We don't have any body parts to show. We don't have any weeds to show, but we have some help to
You have wonderful
get you into the housing.
in a great community. All right. And then tell the folks at home again how folks can get in touch with you.
You can either call our office at 970-423-7040 or go on our website at summithousing.us.
All right. Well, that all sounds great. Thanks so much, ladies, for coming in and sharing this great info with us. And if you are looking for a home out there and you're part of the Summit County workforce, definitely get in touch with the folks at the Summit Housing Authority. And thanks to those of you at home who have joined us for the July episode of County Connection. We will see you in August.